everybody. Welcome to this series of knowledge sharing session. My name is Montu Verma, and today we are going to share. We are going to start our knowledge sharing journey with all of you guys. And today we are meeting with Kashish Mehrotra, who is a procurement profession. And guys, before we really start this session, can you please let me know from where you are joining us? I mean, from which city you are connecting with us? Can you please type in comment box right away? Satish Chandra from Lucknow. Sunil, welcome. Welcome Yash. Welcome Tanveer from Delhi. Welcome Akshay. Welcome Naveen from Hyderabad and Atul Sharma from Delhi. Thank you guys for joining us on this lovely evening. And I will take you in polling box. Can you please let us know whether you are joining or meeting us first time or not, or you are new joiner for us? Okay, so 100% people are meeting first time. So this poll will only going up for next 5 seconds more. Okay, great. Okay, there is some kind of error, technical problem. So you are only having yes option. No problem. So those who are meeting us or joining us first time, I would be really thankful for all of you guys who is joining us first time, and thanks for investing your time on this lovely evening. And those who are really joining again, Procurement Wale community, and I would be really thankful to all of you once again for joining us, for revisiting on Procurement Wale community. So now let us start this session, and we have Mr. Tanveer Mehrotra, who will be sharing his knowledge or perspective on SQL or Python usage in digital procurement. Hello Kashish Mehrotra, can you hear me? And welcome to Procurement Wale community. Kashish, am I audible? Just a moment. Hi Kashish, how are you doing?
Hello, sir. I'm good, sir. How are you?
I am good, Kashish. You are looking very, very good. And can you please start with your introduction? I mean, what is your profession journey as of now? Then we will love to listen your perspective on SQL and Python usage in digital procurement. Over to you, Kashish.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you so much, Muntu, sir, for giving me this opportunity to present my views upon Python and SQL and how can we use it in digital procurement. My name is Kashish Mehrotra. Currently, I'm working in Mahanagar Gas Limited as a procurement executive. Prior to that, I was working in DRDO as a junior research fellow. My hands-on with Python, SQL, and other programming languages were there only. I have also have done work in microcontrollers, microprocessors, and FPGAs. So basically, all those IT skills and electronics skills I was acquainted with there and with there only, and in my college also. So I've also secured a 304 rank in GATE 2018. So yeah, that was my brief introduction, sir. And
Kashish, thank you so much for your introduction. And now, without wasting any time, we can start this lovely, lovely session and this lovely, lovely evening.
sure, sir. And I have the permission to share the screen, sir.
Sure, sure. Just a moment. Kashish, are you able to see tab of share screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. So firstly, yeah. So these both programming languages, Python and SQL, they must be new to our procurement community. And if I would like to say that Python and SQL both can be very efficient if we can learn it and use it in our procurement. So before starting that, how can we use it in our procurement? We should need to understand what is Python and what is SQL. So now the question is, what is Python? So Python is just a programming language that we all must have used during our engineering curriculum and in our 12th. This is just like C. But there are a few advantages of Python over other programming languages. Just like it is simple to use. The lines of code written in Python are quite less as compared to other programming languages. It is open source. We need not to pay anything to use it. And it has several libraries by using which you can use automation and AI tools. So yeah, it is also written in the slide. As you can see, it can be used to extract the information from a data set. That is a very key point that we are going to use further when I'll switch to SQL. And it can also be used in automation purposes, as I told you earlier, for the artificial intelligence purposes. Like you are going to fetch data, you just written a few lines of code and it is doing the work automatically without any interruption of you. So it is basically a very efficient language, Python overall. Now coming upon SQL, like what is SQL? So SQL is a structured query language. So as the name suggests, structured query language, all the data that is extracted or that is added in SQL, it is very in a structured manner, just like rows and columns, just like Excel that we must all have used in our offices. Like in SQL, everything is arranged in a structured form in rows and columns, and those rows and columns can be in different dimensions, like 2-dimension rows and columns, 3rd-dimension rows and columns. It all depends upon the user, that how he wants to use it, how efficiently he can extract the data, how efficiently he can append the data in SQL. So as you can see in the slide, it is a structured query language. It is used to query data present in relational database. Now here I have underlined 2 words, query and relational database. So basically query means you are querying, you are asking for the data. Like there is a row, there is a column, and suppose in the rows there are the designation of the employees in a particular company, so like E1, E2, M1, M2, and in the columns it is written like employee codes, just like employee numbers allotted to each employee. So you want a data like, okay, SQL, just like tell me all the employees above M1. So what SQL will do, it will fetch all the employee codes who are M1 and beyond and tell you, okay, there are 10 employees in the organization who are M1 and beyond. Now, the second word that I have underlined is relational database. Relational database, you can assume it is just like rows and columns, as I told you. It is a structured way. Like like I told you, 2-dimensional rows and columns, 3-dimensional rows and columns. It is relational database. Prior to relational database, it was just like a simple database. It was just like a file you have created in the Word. That it was just like that. But we switched to relational database so that our data that I am storing, it can be informative to me. All right. So using SQL, I can create the data. I can create one sheet. I can create a whole new sheet where I can store different things. I can store compensation package of each employee. I can store the employee code. I can store his years of experience. Okay, I can update the data. Suppose an employee is getting promoted, so I can update the data. Like, okay, he's M1, now he is going to M2. So I can update the data in SQL. I can delete the data. Suppose an employee is leaving the company, he got some other job. So I can delete the data and insert records in the database. Like a new person is joining in our company and I want to update the data, I need to insert one employee code in our whole database. So it is like inserting new records in the database. In the fourth point, it can also be used to retrieve the data. Retrieve just like querying the data, like tell me the compensation, tell me the number of employees who are getting 10 lakhs and beyond, who are getting 15 lakhs and beyond. It will just go on and search the number of employees who are getting the compensation package above that figure. Now, coming upon how can we use Python and SQL in an integrated fashion in our procurement. So SQL, as I told you, SQL can be used to create a database. Database, just like I told you, like you want to create a whole new rows and columns with the vast dimensions of information. So you can do that using SQL language. You just need to write a few lines of code in SQL, and a relational database will be created in that. Now, what Python will do? Python will fetch the data that you have stored using SQL in the database, and it will do manipulations over it. Just like you asked it for, suppose, tell me the number of employees over M1. So it will fetch the data. It will manipulate it. You're getting my point. It will manipulate the data and then convey to the user that, okay, the 10 number of employees are above M1. Okay. The third point, Python can also be used in automating the database. That is the most crucial part. Why Python has got so much attention of developers and programmers is because the libraries of Python allow us to use AI principles, to use some concepts where human intervention is as minimal as possible. So Python can be used to automate the database. Like if an employee is joining, I write some 2 or 3 lines and it will automate the whole data. It will transfer the data right from what I have fed in Excel to SQL. Here the catch is that using SQL only, I can interact with Python. It is very easy for me to use Python and interact with SQL and make some changes and amendments over there. Now, the best example that I'm going to give you is vendor evaluation. See, here as you can see, I'm hovering over this, my pointer to this sheet, overall performance. So this overall performance and this quality sheet, it is for the vendors. Now, why? Now the idea is, suppose I have an urgent requirement of some material, okay, and if I switch to bidding process, it is going to take a huge amount of time because the material is required on an urgent basis. So what I will do, I have two options. Either I can rely on my experience, I can rely on my memory, and I can go further with what my experience is. But there's a chance of human error over there. So to minimize the human errors, I will create one database of the vendors consisting of vendor names. I will allot vendor codes to each vendor. The material code, like what vendor is supplying what material. A particular vendor is not, it deals with only one material. An IT vendor can deal with printers, routers, laptops, desktops. Okay, so the material codes will be there, allotted to a particular material. Now the performance of a vendor will be judged upon 3 parameters. Number 1, cost. The minus denotes the savings. Like if my estimate was 100 rupees and this vendor named Jill has supplied me a material for 90 rupees, so their 10% goes to my savings. Similarly, the deliverable. Deliverable means suppose a vendor named Jill was supposed to deliver the material in 30 days and he has delivered the material in 30 minus 5 equals to 25 days. So, and quality. Now here's the catch over quality. The quality of a particular material. Suppose I work in a city gas distribution company, and pipeline is a very critical thing for my company. So what I will do is I will judge a vendor's performance over the material of pipe he's supplying to my company. And how will I judge that? I will judge that over some inspection reports. Suppose 5 inspection reports I have for a particular pipeline. So parameter 1, parameter 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 parameters, and I will rate them based upon the inspection reports I receive from the inspection engineer. Okay, so as you can see, the vendor named Jill has scored an average of 8.4 over a 5 parameter of quality that he was assessed upon. And I will fetch this average of data from this sheet to this sheet. All right. Now, as I told you earlier, what my case study is, I need a material on urgent basis. Suppose I want a material F. Okay. Now, my priority is deliverables. So I should switch to Steve or should I switch to Hugh? You tell me. Because here the vendor named Steve has taken 30 plus, let's suppose T plus 10 days. He delayed the delivery by 10 days. And here Hugh has delivered the material 7 days in advance. And if the quality is a concern for me also, then Hugh is also good in terms of that. But considering the cost here, the cost savings is not that much if you compare both the parameters. So certainly I will switch to Hugh. Similarly, based upon my requirement of deliverables, I switch to Hugh. Suppose if your concern was the cost, so you might have switched to Steve. Okay, so here, if I'm doing vendor evaluation and if I'm creating a database of vendors for a particular material, like they are, I can sort the vendors. I can sort the vendors over the quality, over the deliverables, over the cost. SQL gives me advantage of sorting the list, sorting this whole cost, deliverables, and quality to an extent, and taking average for ranking purposes. I will rate all those vendors in the ranking purpose. I can amend the data. Suppose a vendor named Gem has performed poorly in the past year, and he has performed very well in the past 4 years. So I will accordingly rate the quality and the cost of that vendor. So yeah, basically what I came across was vendor evaluation. That was the best efficient example for me to give to you people. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Kashish. And you have just proved right now that numbers experience is just a numbers, and you go beyond that. And you are one of the youngest procurement professional in our procurement wale community who is delivering such kind of session first time, and you rocked it, man. You rocked it, Kashish Mehrotra. Now we would invite our participant to ask any question regarding Python and SQL uses in digital procurement. So please ask any question if you want to ask directly to Kashish Mehrotra. Thank you. Okay, let me unmute to all of you. Hold on. Yes, now you can directly speak to Kashish Mehrotra.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
who is
Hi,
this?
Avinash this side, Avinash Yadav.
Welcome, Avinash.
Yeah. So this is my first program, so I am attending, and so I have some queries and regarding how we can able to introduce our Python and data science, like machine learning algorithm in procurement for effective procurement, in terms of means what is this future, and how we can able to correlate with the digital transformation. So can you just put more focus on it, so we'll have get more clarity about this, how we can
Sure,
going
Avinash.
to implement it.
Yeah, actually, conventionally, what we are doing is we are creating suppose I will keep the example limited to vendor evaluation only. Is that fine with you, Avinash?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Actually, what we are relying upon is our Excel sheets only. And I feel that Excel sheets have some limitations that are that can prove as an advantage for the usage of SQL and Python. I am not only saying that Python and SQL will certainly revolutionize everything in the procurement field, but it can certainly improve our efficiency over what we are performing right now. It is certainly very rare that we are in an urgent requirement of some commodity in our company. So in that critical times, we as a procurement officer can be efficient in terms of cost and deliverables. If I create a vendor evaluation report in my SQL, then don't you think it will be efficient to rate the vendors according to the ranking, to assess the vendor based upon the deliverables and quality?
Yeah,
You tell me,
that's
Avinash.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it will definitely.
the thing is, it is not only limited to this vendor evaluation only. It can be very
Hmm.
broad. It can go
Yes.
beyond what I am thinking, what Montu sir has thought, what you have thought. It can go beyond anything. Just like you told, machine learning and deep learning, it can also be incorporated in Python and SQL certainly. So the field is broad. It is unexplored as of now. Maybe you and me can do something revolutionary in this field.
Absolutely, Kashish. Absolutely right. So I hope you answered your question. And now our next question is Guillermo Tapia directly joining us from Netherlands, and he or she is asking that thank you for presentation. Is it possible to share an example of a program code you wrote from your day-to-day uses? So, Kashish, you can also read this question in chat box.
Okay.
So I am reading
Okay.
this question once again. Is it possible to share an example of
Yeah.
program or code you wrote for your day-to-day uses?
Uh,
Or I
Hello,
would like
Tapia.
to
First of all,
invite.
thank you
Yes,
for
yes,
attending.
please. Please carry on, Kashish.
Thank you so much for attending this presentation and giving your precious time to attend the presentation. As of now, I have not written any code, but as far as my experience is concerned in Python and SQL, I am pretty much sure it can be done. But I need to recall my concepts over Python and SQL because it was in 2018-19 when I have done my hands-on with Python and SQL. But certainly it can be done. I assure you. If you learn Python and SQL, and it is very easy. Python and SQL is very easy, and trust me, if you learn, it will give you a much, I would say, an upper hand over what you are doing over your colleagues, certainly, and they will certainly switch to Python and SQL. I hope I have cleared your query.
Hello. Hi, this is Sachin Jain from Muradabad as I'm doing the work in a MNC company. So my question is that
Hi, Sachin.
in which company that is using the SQL and Python in digital procurement? Because I am not sure is any company is using the digital procurement. I mean, uh, how we are doing the digital procurement?
See, Sachin, first of all, thank you for joining here. And second, you have a very good question. As of now, as I told Avinash also, that as of now, this field is completely unexplored. I don't think anyone in our procurement community, if they are not engineers, they are rarely aware of these programming languages. If you want to learn Python and SQL, you can certainly do it. But coming upon that, are we using it right now? I don't think so. I mean, if any company is using it right now, but can it be used? It can certainly be used. And
Okay.
trust me, if you switch from Excel to SQL and
Okay.
automate it using Python, using some
Okay.
AI tools. I'm not sure. I think that is RPA tool, a robotic process automation tool. I'm not sure because I used it in 2018-19. But yeah, if you will use it, you can certainly automate the whole process. And in the critical
Okay.
times that I give an example to you, like vendor evaluation and all that stuff where the material is needed in critical times, then at that point of time, it will certainly be beneficial for you. Trust me, because a
Okay.
human
Going
error can
forward
eliminate
is
it by a machine learning only. Yeah, tell me.
yeah. Okay, so in future we can use the digital procurement, right? Through
Sure.
the Python and SQL, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And in
okay,
fact,
okay,
not only in future, maybe you can create a whole new database by using Python and SQL right from tomorrow. Because I
okay,
don't think that it would require much effort. In fact, while giving this presentation, I was thinking to switch over Python and SQL again, so that it will be beneficial for me only, because I'll be saving more cost to my company without compromising the deliverable cost.
okay, okay.
Hello, Sachin.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I hope I am clear.
yeah. Fine, fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sachin Jain, thank you so much for asking question to Kashish Mehrotra. And can you please let me know how's your experience with procurement Wale so far? And you are the first time joining us, or you are a regular joiner for?
Actually, yeah. Actually, I was driving the car, and so I could not. I just
Oh,
hearing you, and I'm
hmm,
coming from 15 kilometer distance from somewhere. So
hmm.
I'm just listening you and sharing you because I just get the reminder from your side. This is 30 minutes, so I just joined. But just I came my home, this is a good experience from my the side from the procurement, and I'm working on SAP right now, and almost 2.5 years has been gone and procurement, so everything is going good from my side. But I am very pleased about to hearing this. We are going the digital procurement through the Python SQL, so I'm really interested in such type of language. So yeah, good to hear that we can use such thing or things and in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sachin, once again for joining us, and thank you for your lovely wishes. So, Kashish, our next question is from Pratik Chaube. Can you please help me to know how to do we use this Python to create any comparison in short time? Pratik, can you please unmute your mic and say from where you are joining us before
Yeah, hello.
Kashish will
Hi.
really answer
Hi,
your
Kashish. And
question?
Hi, Pratik.
so this, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, Pratik.
Yeah, so this question came from because since Kashish told us that we can use the Python in procurement as well, and we can take help to create any database while you with the help of using the SQL as well. So my question is this: like since I am doing procurement on a daily basis, okay, so how do we introduce these tools in my day-to-day activities? Like how do I start these things? Like I need to complete my carriers as well, or my daily carriers need to meet. So how do I manage to learn these things, and how do I start using these tools in my day-to-day activities? Like how do I start? That's my question.
Okay. Thanks, Pratik, for joining, and thanks for your question. I think the first step would be to learn Python and SQL before implementing it and going full hands-on over that. So, firstly, I would suggest to learn Python and SQL, and after that, using SQL, you can create, just like I told you, you can create rows and columns, right? Just like Excel. But using Python, you can fetch the data, and you have queried upon some cost modeling, I think. Am I right, Mr. Pratik?
Yeah, yeah.
So using what you can do using Python, whatever cost modeling formula you must be using for your company. All right. Suppose you must be using TCO or some ZBC for cost modeling, I guess, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so this question belongs to like sometime what happened, like suppliers have the different parameters to judge their performance and all. So sometimes we award the suppliers on the basis of price. Sometimes we award on the basis of quality. Like how do I take help from Python so that I can create those information easily with using Python, or I can come up with the result that yes, I can go with this supplier on a short duration.
Okay. See, Pratik, actually, being a purchase officer, I know that the pricing is a major concern for us. But considering your question, I guess we can rate the vendor based upon the three major parameters, because see, we cannot compromise on the quality, we cannot compromise upon the deliverables. All right. So based upon these two parameters combined with the cost can be modeled using ZBC or TCO, depending upon what formula you can use, what is convenient for you. So based upon this, you can rank the vendors, and the ranking will be based upon your priority. If your priority is cost, then you can give a major portion of that ranking percentage to the cost. if your major concern is deliverables, like you cannot compromise the deliverables, the material is critical, so you can rank the vendors in terms of deliverables. And the major advantage I would say in Python is you can change this formula and re-rate the vendors every day based upon your daily requirements.
Okay, so this is something one-time investment, right? Like I need to create
yes,
kind of...
exactly. Because see, if you have a personal laptop, then I wouldn't think that this Python and SQL would take much memory and much processing power. Because see, the data that we are using in our day-to-day basis, the data is not much hefty to handle. It is quite simple data. The vendor codes is the main thing, the cost is the second thing, and the material code is the third thing that we are using for our comparisons basis. Based upon these three parameters, we can assess them based upon the three parameters that I told you: deliverables, quality, and cost.
Yeah, that is fine. That we all know. But sorry to interrupt you. So my major concern is like, how do I start using this Python, and how means from where I can start using these tools so that it will be easy for me to creating these type of analysis.
Pratik, I think that firstly you should learn Python and SQL.
Okay.
After that, you can create a database of your vendors using SQL. Okay. After that, using Python, you can access your database. Okay. After accessing your database using
Ashish,
Python, yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you one question in between?
Yes, sir.
Kashish, can you please suggest our audience a cost-effective source from where they can learn all these?
Yeah, that is very good for us. Thank you for
Python language. I think Pratik Chaube want to know
personally
only the answers question.
Yeah. Personally, I would say that I have learned from internet only. Like W3 Schools is good. Tutorials Point is good. You can note it down. I can.
Kashish, can you please comment? Write in comment box.
Yeah.
It will be really helpful for all of us.
It's W3 Schools, Tutorials Point, and Geeks for Geeks. You will find good concept stuff over there. From there, you can learn Python and SQL in any programming language you find comfortable, and that this can be a good cost-effective source for all of us. Second, Pratik, as you were asking, that how can we use it further? Like after learning Python and SQL, you need to create a database using SQL. The same that you do in the Excel, you need to do it here using programming. After that, using Python, you need to fetch the data. You need to fetch the data and you need to order it depending upon your daily usage. Like suppose on Monday, your cost is the priority. On Tuesday, let's suppose on Tuesday, the deliverables is the main concern that is very critical for your company. So for that, the first step would be learning Python and SQL.
I got your point, Kashish. Thank you so much.
Pratik, before you leave this session, can you please write a feedback on our social media handles like YouTube or LinkedIn? Thank you for joining us, Pratik, once again. And next question.
Yeah, sure, I will do that.
Thank you. Next question is from Satish Chandra in chat box. Says, hi Kashish, do we need any technical skill to learn Python or SQL? Fantastic question. Can you please answer, Kashish?
Hello, Satish. First of all, thanks for your time to join this session. And coming upon your question, do we need any technical skill? I wouldn't say any technical skill. A programming language is just like a normal language that we can use to communicate. The difference is that using programming language, you are able to communicate with the computer. And using normal language like English or Hindi, you can communicate with humans. So basically, Python is a high-level language. there's not any technical skill required. It will take some logical skills like addition, deletion, some manipulations like how to order, how to create a formula over some particular stuff. Like you want to give more weightage to cost, so you can give 80% to cost, 10% to deliverables, and 10% to quality. So it will only require some mathematical skills. There will not be any technical skills involved, trust me.
By the way, I am very good in mathematics. I can use it. Thank you so much, Kashish, for your confirmation. So Satish Chandra, Neeraj Kumar want to ask question. Neeraj, please unmute your mic and ask.
Yeah, Neeraj.
Hi, Kashish. Kashish, as you said before that, in our procurement day-to-day activities, we are not using much of the data, right? And for that particular type of data, whether going with an Excel won't be much more beneficial rather than just learning a new SQL and developing. See, because SQL is used for a big data type of things, right? Creating a big data, manipulating that data, then Python will be using. So Python will be used for fetching that data, then doing some analysis, apply some NumPy libraries, that type of thing, and coming up with some useful information, right?
Right.
So see, this particular, I think SQL and Python can be used for bigger data, which as a procurement we don't come up with, right? And for this supplier evaluation and any kind of things, there are many more procurement software P2P softwares available, which on the back end they do this calculation. They do this calculation and they give us the output. Whether this supplier is beneficial on the basis of cost or on the basis of quality, XYZ, right?
Okay. Neeraj, first of all, what you said about big data. Big data is just an application of SQL, I would say, because SQL, how would I put it into words? SQL is not just for big data or cloud computing. It is just for the database. It's just like the name big data suggests, it is for a bigger amount of data, bigger chunks of data that the developers are using. I would say that if you have heard of OpenCV, if you are aware of big data, then you must have heard of OpenCV, where the data is regularly fetched at every nanosecond and the manipulations are done over it. So at that point of time, a big data application over SQL is good. But concerning your cost estimates and other stuff, the other software that you are talking about, if you are ultimately going to learn a new software, then why not Python and SQL?
Here, software I meant to say some platforms like GP Smart, SAP Ariba, and for this, I think SQL and Python is very useful, and each and every individual from procurement should learn it. But it will be useful on a spent analysis time, right? Doing something strategic or something like that. For day-to-day activities, like if you want to select a vendor on the basis of few parameters you said, right? Like cost, quality, and deliverables. Right. So what I think for that particular thing, Excel is much more beneficial, because वो ना फटक से आपको दे देगा, SQL में आप कोड लिखोगे, ये करोगे, this particular thing, ये छोटे-मोटे चीज के लिए ना Excel is one of the best tools. For spend analysis, for doing your yearly spend, what will be your strategies, everything, there SQL and Python will come into picture.
Neeraj, first of all, I like the query you raised that Excel is more beneficial as compared to Python and SQL. But in this world when everything is switching to automation and AI, I don't think that, okay, let me put this into a more simpler terms. C, I've been using C since 12th standard, and it has not become obsolete. The other languages are coming up and they are becoming more popular because they have more advancements over C. Similarly, if we use SQL and Python, Excel will not rule out. Excel will stay. Excel is going to be used. Excel will be beneficial and all that stuff. But if we start using SQL, and you said that day-to-day activities, I'm pretty much sure you are certainly right, because in day-to-day activities, Python and SQL may not be that much beneficial. But as in my example, I told you that I'm stuck in a critical, a critical scenario where I need to search for a vendor who can deliver the material without compromising cost and quality. So you can rank those vendors based upon that. Second, using Excel, how would I say? Yeah, just like if you remember what I showed you in my Excel sheet, there were two sheets present: performance, overall performance, and quality. So these were the two dimensions that I was assessing a vendor upon. Are you getting my point? There were two dimensions based upon which I am assessing my vendor. In SQL, you can create n number of dimensions. Can you even think of it? I can create n number of dimensions, okay, and I can assess based upon it. So it is up to my usage, my comfort zone, that how much I am willing to use it. If you are willing with Excel, if you are going good with Excel, no issues. But there is always a scope of learning. There is always a scope of betterment. I would say that I'm not discouraging Excel. In fact, I am still using Excel, and I might probably use it for some more years. But why not learning some new technology that might prove beneficial to you? Okay, I'm not saying that you will use it on day-to-day basis, but when you are stuck in the critical scenarios, then trust me, Python and SQL will help you a lot.
And one last query, because so there are different nominal forms, right, for the data to be used in SQL, like 1NF, 2NF, 3NF. So what is the basic? Can we work on the 1NF data set like that? Because there are some, when I fetch a data from ERP, because in my company we use PeopleSoft, okay? So when I fetch a data from that particular ERP, that data is not in a proper form. There is no primary key, there is nothing like that. So wahan pe I get stuck to use in SQL. So can you just throw something light on that?
What software you were talking about? I couldn't get that.
PeopleSoft. Oracle basically, PeopleSoft.
Oracle, okay. I'm not sure of Oracle here, because I think SAP and Oracle. I'm not sure about Oracle, but SAP does not allow. Obviously SAP Foundation is different programming languages integrated together to create a new SAP product.
My doubt was over here is when I get a data fetch, basically when I want to do a spend analysis, right? I just require a data of yearly data, what we have procured and what was the cost, everything. So when I download the data from that particular ERP, that data is not in a proper form, right? For there are different forms, right? 1NF, 1 nominal form, 2 nominal form, 3 nominal form. So that what data because getting a data and importing into SQL and writing a query, SQL query, manipulating data, then giving a link to Python. वहाँ पे वो data just start में जो data आता है ना, hope you understand that data is not in a proper form. So basically,
actually, I have not used Oracle, Neeraj. I am using SAP here, and I am not sure that what Oracle does. But certainly that you have given a good point. I'll study over that. But considering your query, if you write a particular code, see what Python will do is the logic will remain same. You just need to change the location of the file. So you're getting, Neeraj, and what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So you are saying that the data is very irregular, but the logic will be same. So what Python will do is you will write a code for the sorting purposes, like sorting or searching purposes, and that code that will be implemented over the chunk of data that you have imported from Oracle. And later on, it will arrange it and save it in the name of some other file. That Python can do. But SQL will not be used there.
Okay. And just last point, what is the best visualization tool you would prefer? Will it be Power BI or Tableau?
Pardon?
Visualization tool like Power BI, Tableau, there are different tools available in the market.
Are you asking about Python and SQL visualization tool? Because these are, I'm not sure.
I'm asking for about Power BI, between Power BI and Tableau.
Okay, Power BI and Tableau. They allow Python and SQL.
So Neeraj and Kashish, sorry to interrupt. We can do one thing. We can park the question asked by Neeraj, and we will definitely answer his question. Kashish, can you please drop your email ID, your contact number in chat box, so that in case any question, any audience or any listener asks to you directly post this session?
Mr. Neeraj, are you part of our procurement Wale group?
Yeah, I have just joined recently.
Okay, so I will do one thing. I will drop my email ID and my contact number there. All right.
Okay,
and
fine.
Neeraj, can you please let us know from where you are exactly joining us, and how is your experience with procurement Wale so far?
As I said, it has not been much time. I have attended the 2 sessions. One was on this software procurement. What are the parameters to be looked on? And it was really very good. And even this session is very much helpful. Till now, I have attended 2 sessions and both are very good.
Thank you so much.
Right now, I am working with an entity in Mumbai as a procurement manager.
Thank you so much, Neeraj, for joining us and spending your valuable time with us. So now we would love to listen any other question from our audience, and then we will move towards to end of this session. Fantastic, Kashish, and I really enjoyed this session. And mind-blowing, you nailed it. Yes,
it wouldn't be possible without your support, sir. Thank you so much.
No, it's really a fantastic session, Kashish, you have delivered today. And I would ask to all of you procurement Wale, all of you participant who is joining us, please write a true feedback, whatever you are feeling with Kashish Malhotra and me right now.
Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining. Let me know what your question.
Yeah, actually, in fact, I got late. After 30 minutes only, I joined in the session. In fact, I want to know this SQL and this new thing. How long it will take if I want to introduce this in my company or in my learning this one? How much it will take time to get it learned? What is the time period? And
So
is this available?
I will also add in your question how much time it will take and how much cost it will take. If I will also ask to deploy in my company. Yes, Kashish.
Okay.
The question is very.
Thank
very
you so
good.
much, Rajesh sir, for joining here, and thanks for your question. Depending upon on Udemy, I will give you an example. On Udemy, a same Python course for beginners is for 10 days. A same Python course is there for 15 days. A same Python course is there for 30 days. It depends upon the learner's pace. But if you are really willing and considering that you have a zero programming experience over any other language, you have no programming experience, it will take approximately 30 days, I think. Because learning the concepts, the indents, how to write a logic, okay, so that will take a certain amount of time for learning Python. Coming upon SQL, it will not take much time. SQL is just like writing English language. Okay. SQL will take another 5 to 10 days. But
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah. Integrating it will take some 5 more days. Considering the cost, it will give you zero cost if you learn from the links that I've given you in the chat group, W3 Schools, Tutorials Point, and Geeks for Geeks. It will be zero cost for you because all the concepts will be there from the best programmers, and it will be very helpful for you also. Considering the deployment,
even they will training us also. No, they will training also.
Yeah.
Who is?
Yeah, actually, W3 Schools, Tutorials Point, and Geeks for Geeks, they post the question. People like you and me post questions there, and all over the community, all the developer community, whatever they find relevant questions, they answer them in the practical world scenario. So your concepts will be clear over these websites that I've given you. Considering the deployment part, it depends upon what you're deploying. If you are deploying what example I have given, it will take approximately 15 to 20 days more. It will not take much time because you already have the data.
Yeah. Is they're providing any certification like that, anything?
No, they are not providing certification. For that you have to pay, and if you are paying for the certification, you need to go to Udemy or Coursera. There are so many learning platforms that you can go for learning and certifications also. But if the learning is concerned, then these three websites are the best as of now.
Okay, I think you have already mentioned in the chat box that one, no?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh, for your question.
Welcome.
And Kashish, do let me know one more thing. What cost parameter involves in implementation of SQL or Python?
As I told you, sir, that whatever data we will be having, it can be directly stored in our systems. So we would not be needing any particular, if you are using it on your own, if you are creating your own database, the vendors you are dealing with yourself, then it's not going to incur you any cost. You can simply store it in your system, in your PC or a laptop. But if as a company, if a company is using it, then they need to procure one server for that, because the database, if that company is an MNC, the database will be huge. And for that huge data, it needs to be stored in a server, because you cannot compromise your efforts that you are putting in for creating all that database.
And as per your experience, which is the best consultancy company or which is the best firm, what you can refer to implementation of this SQL and in digital procurement?
What I can refer, I didn't get it, sir.
I'm asking which is the best company who can help us to implement this SQL or Python in our procurement company or procurement domain.
Are you considering cost parameter while asking it, or quality?
Or anybody from our IT team who has the basic fundamental knowledge of SQL can deploy.
They can certainly do
Python.
it. They can certainly do it. If a company has an IT team, they can certainly do it, sir.
Fantastic. Mind blowing. You nailed it, man. And I really enjoyed this session today. Time really flies, Kashish. And I will post the show notes of a video recording on our social media handles like YouTube and LinkedIn. And can you please once again drop your contact number and email ID so that anybody can ask any question from you directly?
Yes, shall I drop it on the group or here in the chat box?
In chat box, please.
Yes, sir.
Kashish, it was really a great and valuable session for all of us. And before we really say goodbye to all of you, and I would really recommend and I will really ask from all of you procurement wale listeners or audience that do not forget to give us a true feedback on our social media so that we can, and it will really help us to improve in our next knowledge sharing session. Thank you so much once again for investing your time with us on this lovely evening, and thank you so much, Kashish, and we will really get in touch once again and see you soon.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining.